Today, we're diving into one of nature's most bizarre and frankly, unbelievable magic tricks, how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. But trust me, this is way more than a biology lesson. We're going to see how this one single transformation, seen through the eyes of philosopher Aaron Sloman, puts a huge question mark over our understanding of artificial intelligence and maybe even physics itself. So, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the transformation itself, which is just mind-boggling. Then we'll dig into how this one process reveals some serious cracks in modern science and how that pushes us to hunt for a totally different, deeper kind of intelligence. From there, we'll look at a wild idea about a secret blueprint in our DNA. And finally, we'll see how this all forces us to rethink what the mind even is. All right, first things first, let's really get our heads around the biology here. We all know about caterpillars and butterflies. We see them all the time. But what's actually happening inside that chrysalis, it's an act of engineering so far beyond us, it makes our most advanced tech look like kids' toys. I mean, just let that sink in. The process is every bit as radical as it sounds. Inside that pupa, the caterpillar literally digests itself. It turns into this chemical soup. And from that soup, it builds a completely new creature. We're talking new wings, new legs, new eyes, the whole shebang. And the crazy part? It's the same single living thing from start to finish. Now, when you stack this up against what humans can build, the gap is just insane. This whole thing, the complete teardown and rebuild, it happens in a space smaller than your thumb, and it uses almost no energy. We can't build a factory that does anything remotely close to that, let alone a machine that stays alive while rebuilding itself. It's like having perfect remote control over trillions of tiny particles all at once. It's impossible. And here's what's so critical to get. This isn't just putting on a new coat. It is a fundamental, radical rebuild from the ground up. And the butterfly that comes out, it has brand new skills, like flying, that it has never, ever practiced before. The knowledge is just there, ready to go from moment one. How? So you might be thinking, okay, cool, biology lesson. But here's where it gets really weird. According to the philosopher Aaron Sloman, this incredible process isn't just a fun fact, it's a major problem. It's an anomaly that our absolute best scientific theories just can't handle. It actually shows us where our science is broken. Now, I know, that seems like a huge leap. A caterpillar and AI? But Sloman's point is actually devastatingly simple. He says, look, if our theories of physics and information were really as good as we think they are, we should be able to model this. We should be able to explain how a soup of cells reorganizes itself into a butterfly. And the simple fact is, we can't. Not even close. Which means our theories are missing something huge. And this isn't some small, niche problem. No, this hits right at the core of two of our proudest, most cutting-edge fields: neuroscience and AI, and even fundamental physics. And this right here really nails the problem for artificial intelligence. Our best AIs are neural networks. They're brilliant at statistics. They look at tons of data and calculate the probability of something happening. But what they can't do is understand why something is necessary or why something is impossible. You know, they can tell you it's really, really unlikely a left-handed glove will fit on your right hand, but they don't understand that it's geometrically impossible without turning it inside out. A toddler gets that. Our AI doesn't. You know, this isn't even a new puzzle. The great philosopher Immanuel Kant was wrestling with this exact same thing over 200 years ago. He realized that our ability to understand things like geometry isn't just about experience, it's something deeper. He basically concluded the answer was beyond science, hidden away in the soul. But, and this is the key, Sloman takes Kant's philosophical problem and turns it into a scientific one. He argues the secret isn't in some mysterious soul, it's written in the code of biochemistry. The answer to this deep kind of thinking, he says, is hiding in the chemical machinery of life itself. Okay, so this leads us to a really mind-bending idea. To find the source of this other kind of intelligence, the one that isn't just about statistics, Sloman says we have to look in a place we almost never think to check. Not at the whole animal, but deep inside its component parts. First, though, we have to tweak our definition of information. We're not talking about the bits and bytes of computer science, the stuff Claude Shannon came up with. We're talking about an older, more intuitive meaning. Think about how characters in a Jane Austen novel use information. It's not just data. It's something that guides their actions, that changes their plans. It's information that does something. Which brings us right to the main question. If all those cells inside a chrysalis can pull off this incredible construction project without a brain telling them what to do, where is the control center? Where's the intelligence? Sloman's answer is pretty radical. He says we're looking at the wrong scale. Intelligence isn't just a feature of the whole organism, like a person or a dog. It's happening at the sub-organism level. It's inside our tissues, our cells, and maybe even within the molecules themselves. And when you stop and think about it, you see this sub-organism intelligence absolutely everywhere. Your body hearing a cut on your finger, digesting your lunch, building an entire baby from one cell in a womb. These are all unbelievably complex, information-guided processes that happen with zero conscious thought from you. Metamorphosis is just the most spectacular example of this hidden intelligence at work. This idea is so powerful, it even flips our whole story of brain evolution on its head. Sloman suggests that maybe ancient, intelligent, single-celled things, the ancestors of our synapses, came first, and maybe neurons, the things we always think of as the brain, evolved way later, just as a kind of wiring to connect these little chemical computers that were already smart. In this view, the body is really just a vehicle for the synapses. So, building on that, Sloman and a biologist named Jackie Chappell came up with another revolutionary idea. This one helps explain how incredibly complex new skills can show up so fast, not just over millions of years of evolution, but inside of a single lifetime. They call it the meta-configured genome. Now, the easiest way to think about this is that your DNA isn't a finished blueprint. It's more like a blueprint with deliberate blank spaces left in it. It's a flexible framework, and those gaps are designed from the get-go to be filled in by information you get from the world around you. Here's how it works. The genome has gaps. Then the organism gets information from its environment, things like language, culture, the tools it sees being used. That external information fills in the genetic gaps, which then tailors how the genes get expressed. This explains something amazing, how a human baby born 10,000 years ago could, if we brought them to today, learn to use a smartphone. Their genes aren't coded for smartphone, but they are meta-configured to absorb the complex technology of whatever world they're born into. It allows for lightning-fast adaptation without waiting for slow genetic changes. So, where has this whole journey led us? It's pretty amazing, right? We started by taking a serious look at a caterpillar, and now we've landed on a completely new way of thinking about life, about intelligence, and even about what we are. And this really is the ultimate takeaway. Metamorphosis forces us to make a huge mental shift. What if intelligence isn't some rare, precious miracle that only shows up in big, complicated brains like ours? What if it's an ancient, fundamental property of the universe itself, written right into the laws of chemistry? Sloman sees evolution itself as this kind of blind intelligence in action. It's not totally random, but it's not designed either. It's a generative force baked into physics and chemistry, a process that is constantly, relentlessly exploring what's possible and building new, more complex things. And this leaves us with a really provocative and honestly exciting challenge. The humble caterpillar suggests that the universe might be absolutely teeming with kinds of intelligence that we haven't even learned how to recognize yet. If we've only been looking for minds that look and think like our own, what else is out there that we've been completely blind to?